Hello everyone and welcome back to my second channel. If you didn't know this was my second channel and you thought it was my main channel, this is my second channel. It's where I like to get a little bit goofier, a little bit wackier, and I also crack open a LaCroix from time to time. So, I haven't been on the second channel in a little bit. I've been a little bit preoccupied, and I've also been working on a really big project on the main channel that's been taking up like all of my focus, which will hopefully be out soon. But today, I wanted to get on here and talk about Bo Burnham's new special, Inside. Of course, everybody's talking about it. I feel like there's not really too much that I can say about it that everybody hasn't already said. I'm sure you've heard this a lot lately from like every internet person, but I'm a huge Bo Burnham fan. I never thought that he would do another special, so just having this and being able to watch a new Bo Burnham special has been so awesome. It's so well done, especially for something that he filmed by himself in his room. I mean, it looks like a professional movie that he had to hire a whole crew to make. The cinematography is like crazy creative, and all of the lighting, and like the fact that he was able to make it like visually interesting for over an hour is wild. It was also so inspirational and honestly made me jealous to see someone having such a creative breakthrough during a time when I feel like I have been at like my lowest creatively in the past year. I feel like over the past year I've been kind of down on myself because I've had all these video ideas that I wanted to do that required like traveling or hiring a crew and stuff, and I haven't been able to do it. And then Bo comes out with like one of the best specials I've ever seen, and he filmed the entire thing in his room by himself. It's really inspiring and also makes me extremely jealous. So in a way, I guess you could say I sort of have mixed feelings about the special, because on one hand it's really good, but on the other, it's too good. But I know that a ton of other creators have already done reviews of Inside, like a whole 10-minute video about like how they felt about it and everything, and I don't want to repeat things that have already been said. Also, it came out like weeks ago, so I'm very late to this. But I've been busy rewatching the special over and over, so I, haven't had time. But I thought a fun little twist on our review would be to do a tier list of all the songs and rank them next to each other. Now, with that being said, this tier list that I found ranks them from S to A, B, C, and D. I'd like to note that even if I put something in the D tier, compared to like normal music, this whole bracket would be in like the S and A tier of a normal music tier list. So even if I put something in the D tier, compared to most other music that I've heard recently, it would be somewhere in the S, A, or B tier. And I think that I might have some differing opinions with a lot of people on some of these songs, so obviously this is just my opinion. I'm just one guy. Okay, let's get started. So I think whoever made this tier list might have made it before Bo released his album on Spotify, because this first song is called Inside, and I think that on the album it's called Content. I'm gonna say that's a solid A tier. I mean, it's a little short, but I think it's just a fun way to get the special going. I really like the sound of it. It sort of establishes the sound of the special really well too. It's got kind of this like 80s synth pop vibe, which I really like. I love that a lot of the songs on this special had that kind of sound to it. I think Bo's voice complemented the sound very well. His voice is very theatrical, and I feel like a lot of like 80s pop singers have that sort of theatrical voice, and Bo sort of parodied it. Although I hesitate to even say parody, because like these songs are legitimately good synth poppy songs. So in a way it's a parody, and in a way it's just like an actually good song. But yeah, I think the song sets up the special well. I love the little trick he does at the end where he shines the headlamp onto the disco ball and it makes the whole room a party. And honestly, yeah, the song kind of slaps. It's got great drums, very cool bass synth. I like it a lot. Okay, comedy. Healing the world with comedy. There's a lot I really like about this song. I love how dynamic it is. It's got a bunch of different sections that all sound different from each other. Like there's the piano part at the beginning, and then there's this like voice that comes from the distance that's sort of more like orchestral choir sounding thing, and then it goes into more of like a poppy sounding song, and then at the end it's just Bo's voice harmonizing with himself, totally a cappella. So I love all the different sounds in this song, and it's like it flows between them so seamlessly. The one complaint I have about this song is I haven't seen anyone else say this, so I don't know if I'm being like too nitpicky or if I'm just like, maybe if other people just didn't pick up on it, but I do feel like this is like very similar to his song Sad, I think it's called, from What. He has a really similar moment in this song that he does in the song Sad, where he lists a bunch of bad things in the world. I think in Sad he says like, there's so many messed up things in the world. There's racism, sexism, poverty, whatever. And then he comes to the conclusion at the end, but wait, the world's not sad, it's funny. And then in this song he has almost the exact same line, just with different problems in the world. He says like income inequality, and one other thing, I forget what he says, but it reminded me so much of the other song that I was kind of like, oh, wait, is this like the same idea of a song? One song is about turning tragedy into comedy, and the other one is about healing the world's tragedies with comedy. I feel like they're like really similar in concept. In the actual sound of the songs, they're not similar, but I don't know, I sort of felt like he was covering the same ground as the other song. I like this this song more, but just for the fact that it was so similar, I'm gonna put it in B tier. FaceTime with My Mom, smooth as hell, great sounding song. I've been listening to it a lot. I will say, I personally didn't think it was like the funniest song in the world. That's one thing that I feel like I maybe disagree with some people about the special. I liked a lot of the not as funny songs a lot more than the strictly funny songs. Like FaceTime with My Mom. I mean, it's a funny concept and it's cute and it's got some silly lines, but I never really found myself thinking like, damn, that was a funny line, or I don't know if I was ever really like cracking up during the song. I appreciate the theme in that since he's stuck inside, he like, you know, one of the only things that he can really do is like FaceTime with his mom. That's sort of a funny concept, but the whole like old people being bad at technology thing, I don't particularly think that's that funny of a concept, and to me it just seemed a little bit overplayed. You know what, I'm gonna be a little harsh. I'm gonna put it in C. My bad. Sorry, not sorry. How the World Works, again, I didn't necessarily think it was super funny, but I actually did think that there were some parts of it that were funnier than FaceTime with My Mom. I think this style of song works great for Bo too, because he can be sitting at his keyboard. He's playing the beginning part on his keyboard. The lighting with like the orange background and the spotlight on him is like perfect for this style of like fake children's song type thing. And I think the theme of it is great. The first verse being about how like everything in the world just works so perfectly together, and then Sako coming in and of course being like, actually, no, there's a lot of fucked up shit that goes on in the world and people just don't want to talk about it. I'm gonna put this song in A tier. White Women's Instagram, I gotta be honest, I'm gonna put it in C tier. I feel pretty similarly about FaceTime with My Mom. In fact, even a little bit more so with a White Woman's Instagram, where to me, this is sort of a played out joke of how white women post the same thing on Instagram all the time. They're basic. It's a well composed song. I think that the instrumental that he created for this song works really well with the premise, but I didn't think it was that funny. And look, I've seen a bunch of TikToks like theorizing about deeper meanings for all of these songs, and I'm sure that there are deeper meanings for a lot of these songs that I didn't quite catch, you know, that are a lot deeper than the surface. But with White Women's Instagram, I feel like there were not a lot of jokes, and it was just sort of like listing a bunch of stereotypes. Like this song just like, it reads like a list. It's just like he wrote down a bunch of things that white women do on their Instagram and made them rhyme, and then that's like the whole song. It's just like a list of things. Unpaid Intern is a pretty skippable song, I think. In the special, it's more of just a way for him to transition into the reaction style video, which I actually did think was really funny. I like that part a lot. I'm gonna say I'm judging this based off of how it appeared in the special rather than just a standalone song in the album. So I'm gonna put it at A, B. Jeff Bezos? Dude, this song slaps. I know it's short. I think it's funny. His scream at the end is like so perfect. It's such a good scream at the end, and I just wish I had like the control over my voice to do a scream like that. That's one thing that I was super impressed with in this whole special, was just how good his control over his voice is. When he's speaking, when he's singing, any kind of like little weird sounds, it's just like you can tell that he's gotten so much more mature as a comedian or an actor or performer in general, because he's just like, he's got such good control over his delivery. I'm gonna put Jeff Bezos 1 as A or B? I can't decide. CEO entrepreneur, born in 1964. I'm gonna put it as B just because it was so short, but it did slap. Sexting? So again, this one is more of like it's just a silly song about sexting, but I do think this one had a lot more funny jokes and little jabs and jests than FaceTime with My Mom and White Woman's Instagram. Like the Ferris wheel emoji joke and comparing texting with emojis to like hieroglyphics. And when he says he's naked except for a top hat, and she just replies, nah, I doubt that. This was definitely one of the funny songs on the album. Stuck in a Room is decent, sort of about the current state of the pandemic, sort of about being a kid growing up that feels like he's trapped in his room. I also think it sets up Problematic really well, because in Problematic, he's talking about being a sheltered kid. That's another thing I loved about this special. For a lot of the songs, it seems like the previous song sort of like set up the next song, or you can sort of see it going through like different themes of like the internet, and then Bo's childhood. It goes from like Stuck in a Room, Problematic, turning 30, where it's all sort of like talking about him aging and growing up. And then there's a whole section about like feeling like shit during the pandemic. You've got All Time Low and Feeling Like Shit both right next to each other. You can definitely sort of see how he's guiding you through all of these different like emotions and feelings and memories that he's going through while being in lockdown. So I thought that was really nice and really neat. I definitely feel like I can relate to Stuck in a Room a decent amount. I'm gonna put it in B. It was short, but I definitely think it was to the point. I love the last part of it. The look who's inside again, went out to look for a reason to hide again. Turning 30, I really like this song. I think this song is like really pretty sounding. Bo's voice sounds great in it. All of the lighting and like the fact that he's just in his boxers while he's filming this. I don't know, everything about this is like so good and well put together. He totally killed it with the vocals and with the lyrics. My stupid friends are having stupid children. That part is awesome. This song's going in A tier. Problematic, I thought this song was S tier. This song is one that I like actually want to listen to. It's funny. I found it reminding me of YouTubers who have to make multiple apologies for the same incident because they fuck up on the first one and have to like apologize for the apology on the second one. I thought it was a really clever song. It's funny. It hits hard. It's got a great instrumental. S tier. Don't want to know. Honestly, it was pretty forgettable. It was just sort of a little palate cleanser. I feel like I should be able to relate to it as a content creator, and I often have to stop myself from like going looking for answers like that of like, did people like this video, or what are people thinking of me right now? I mean, the song is about him sort of wanting to know what people are thinking about him, but also not. So I can relate to it in that sense, but just, I don't know. Something about it is sort of just forgettable to me. I feel like maybe he didn't really hit on the emotional side of things with this as much. I guess it's just a little bit surface level and didn't really make me feel much. So I'm gonna put it in D tier. What the heck, you know? I gotta put something in D tier. Feeling Like Shit is good. I'll put that in B tier. It's a funny song. It's funky. It's got a nice groove to it. Sort of same thing with Feeling in My Body. I'm gonna put that in C tier. I sort of felt like Feeling in My Body was not necessary after Feeling Like Shit. Oh, I guess on the album this is called All Time Low, I think. But I just felt like it like just covered the exact same ground as Feeling Like Shit. And I think in the special it sort of comes one right after another. Yeah, I just sort of felt like, why put both of them in? They sort of are both just saying like, at this point in the pandemic, I'm not feeling too good. Welcome to the internet. How about one of the best songs Bo Burnham has ever made? I mean, not to say that a lot of this special isn't, but Welcome to the Internet especially, dude. I mean, this song made me realize that like this special is like a musical. I mean, this is like a one-man musical, and Bo's performance in this is incredible. The instrumental is great. His voice in this, his like, I want to say like Disney animation villain sort of performance is so good. I want to see Bo Burnham in like a Disney movie as the villain now. His evil laugh chills every time I hear it. It's so good. That's the type of shit I'm talking about when I'm like, he's so good at his delivery. I could never do an evil laugh like that. Also bone chilling the way he smiles at the very end of the song, like right after he delivers the last line, the little smile right before it ends. It's so good. This whole thing is so good. All of the lighting changes and so many catchy parts and just like beautiful little melodies. Mommy let you use her iPad. That part for some reason just hits so different. This song is so good. Jeff Bezos 2. I'll put that in C tier, just right below Jeffrey Bezos 1. Love the Jeff Bezos slander though. Definitely appreciate that. Funny Feeling is a really beautiful song. Also cool to see Bo Burnham playing the guitar, which I feel like he hasn't done since some of his like really early songs about like math and stuff. I will say that out of sort of like the more emotional songs on this, or more like serious feeling songs, this one for whatever reason didn't connect with me as much, but I do appreciate the lyricism. I mean, this song is very poetic. I love how he made this one sort of look like a campfire. I think it's a solid A tier song. Hands Up, I can already tell you will be the top song on my Spotify Wrapped this year. I've listened to it so much. It's so good. And it's so simple too. I mean, production-wise, there's just like a pretty simple bass line. There's some keys in there too, and just some nice sounding like, I guess, pop drums. But just his voice, that like the pitch down or however he processed those vocals, it sounds so good, and his voice sounds so good in it, especially the speech in the middle about how he wanted to start performing again, like right before the pandemic started. Makes my heart drop every time. The part at the end where he picks up the camera and it's like showing you the silhouette of him and the camera together. I'm getting choked up even just thinking about the song, dude. This song is so good. It's going in S tier. He looks like Jesus in this song. Oh, and in this one, the laugh he does, that little laugh in the last chorus, again, another like goosebumps moment, like so creepy and unsettling, but also it seems like he's like genuinely happy, and so it's sort of like an uplifting part too. There's so many emotions in this song, and it's like, it makes me feel so complex listening to it, and it is so good. Ending song, I would say probably also S tier, dude. This was like a great way to wrap up the special. Lots of lines in there that I loved, like, how about I sit on the couch and watch you next time? Does anybody want to joke when no one's laughing in the background? Great wrap up for the whole special. tied a very neat bow in it. The reprise of all the songs at the end. Welcome to the Internet, comedy, and Stuck in a Room. Yeah, pretty good end to the special. Any Day Now, nothing super special, just sort of like a little uplifting, maybe, song for the end. I would say it's not super memorable, but it's pleasant. I would probably put it alongside Don't Wanna Know. So yeah, there's my whole tier list from Bo's special. Every time I see anything that Bo Burnham says or does, it inspires me to be a better creator, put more effort into my videos and more thought into my videos, and I'm really glad that this exists. I think Bo Burnham makes creators better in general. So even if you don't fuck with Bo Burnham, I think we can all appreciate the impact that he is having in general on creators, because it's hard to watch this and not want to be better and more creative and like do more cool shit. This shit is so cool. So yeah, anyway, that's what I thought about Inside. How about now we talk about our sponsor, Inkbox. This video has been sponsored by Inkbox Tattoos, the ultimate form of self-expression. Guys, if you don't know what Inkbox tattoos are, basically they're semi-permanent tattoos that last 1 to 2 weeks, and they're a great way to show off stuff you're passionate about or just designs that you think are cool. They've got a ton of sick designs on their website, and you can also create your own custom tattoos just by uploading your own images to their website. They've also got a helpful quiz on their website where you can just answer a couple questions about the types of tattoos you like, and they'll suggest a bunch of designs for you. Getting a real tattoo is a lot of pressure. You have to make a decision to have something on your body for the rest of your life. With Inkbox tattoos, they last like 1 to 2 weeks, so you still get to have some sick art on your body for a while, but you don't have to commit to the permanence. How perfect is that? They look and feel just like real tattoos. I mean, they get nice and dark. I probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference with a lot of them, and they're super easy to apply. It probably took me about a minute for each tattoo. Inkbox also seems like a great way to test out a tattoo if you're thinking about getting something permanent, but you're not sure how it'll look on your body, or you're not sure how you'll feel about waking up with something on your arm every day. You can take a file of that art, upload it to their website, and they'll send you a custom tattoo that you can wear on your skin for like 1 to 2 weeks just to test it out. So if you want to check out Inkbox tattoos for yourself, maybe make a custom tattoo, or check out some of the designs that I have hand selected for you guys that I think that you would like, then head on over to the link in the description. Thank you to Inkbox Tattoos for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out Inkbox. All right, well, bye.